Hey y'all, welcome back to Come Home with Jennah. I'm Jennah Sears, your favorite North Texas realtor. And today we have one of my friends from one of my favorite title companies, Fidelity National Title. But that is not really what we're here to talk about. As much as we love title, we love people a little bit better.
We love people a lot.
We do love people a lot. So this is Terri Camp Stevenson. She is kind of a rock star in her own right. She's written 5 books. She also, of course, is a senior sales executive in the title biz. And y'all listen to this. She homeschooled 8 kids, which every time I hear that, I think it's a lie, I have to tell you.
Yeah, totally lied.
A,
Yeah.
I don't think you're old enough to have 8 kids. B, that
Thanks.
just sounds like, I mean, how are you still like alive and so happy? So what?
Because they're grown.
Okay, good. There you see. So you're telling me it gets better. No.
So it gets easier.
Oh, that's good. You know what? I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
You know, 1 to 5 is real tough.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying
Especially
7.
when you have 4 of them from 1 to 5.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then they all grow up.
Oh, and then
And
they kind of
Yeah.
handle each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
3 was the hardest. After that, it was like, I have kids. Well,
Just 1 more.
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure y'all can't tell, especially with Terri's charming personality. But we are going to talk about one of my favorite things that she's ever told me. And that is her project to meet 8 trillion people, I think it was.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't intend to meet 8
Yes.
trillion, but no.
She wanted to meet all the new people. So start right
Yeah.
there. Just hop in and tell us what your goal was.
Okay, well, first, I'd lost my husband. So he had died, and I just felt like I need to get out of this grief somehow. And the only way I needed to do that was to love people. So I woke up one day and I said, I'm going to go on a quest to meet random strangers so I can love them. And I literally did. If
Love
I
it.
tell myself I'm going on a quest, I will do it. And I went to a Starbucks in South Lake Town Square.
Perfect.
And the first thing, I was nervous. And I was
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, what do you say to someone you've never met before? And this meme from Facebook popped in my head that said, would someone really tackle people to save your laptop in a coffee shop? So I asked the guy, excuse me, are your tackling skills up to date? And he said, well, yes, they are. And I said, okay, so if someone absconds with my laptop while I'm in the restroom, you'll tackle them and save it. He said, of course I will. Never opened my laptop again. In fact, I don't even know that I ever took it to Starbucks again.
I love it.
Because once you open that conversation and you don't look at your phone and you're not on your, opening your books and you go in open, then you're going to see people and you're going to meet people. And that was what I wanted to do, was just
Love it.
be open to meet whoever came in my path.
So you didn't have a number. You didn't know
No, I didn't
how
have a
many
number.
people you would
I just
meet
wanted to meet
initially.
at least one a day.
Okay, one
Yeah,
a day. So
at least.
365. Well, you're
Yeah.
an overachiever because how many did you meet?
3,000.
There you go.
Over 3,000
in
people.
1 year.
In 1 year, I met over
mean,
3,000 people. And people would start
Yeah.
like going, Terri, you have to meet this person. Like they helped me. They networked with me to meet
Yes.
new people. Yeah. And I would wake up in the morning and I'd go, okay, who do I have a bias against?
Okay.
Or close your ears, because
Okay.
I had a bias against rich white blonde girls.
I mean, I'm definitely not rich.
But like that was
Yes,
revealed to
for
me,
sure.
like, Terri, you like don't like them
Yes.
just because of something. And it wasn't that I didn't like them. It was just that I had preconceived notions.
Yeah.
And so every day I'd go, okay, reveal to me what my issue is and let's fix it.
I love that.
And
So
every day it
you're
was
just walking into Starbucks. You're like, who makes me uncomfortable? Who
Yes.
do I have a bias against? And you just walk up to them. Do you get a coffee first? Do you sit down? Set the scene for me.
I didn't have a scene set. It was very on the fly.
Okay.
Sometimes it would be sitting on a bench, like outside of Starbucks.
Okay.
Or, but I think of this one guy. He scared me because he was big and he had a big bald head and he talked like this gruff person and he would often talk in another language on the phone. And I'm like, what is he, like Gestapo or something?
what's
And
happening?
so he scared me. And so I thought, okay. So I just walked up to him and I said, hey, I've seen you around. I'm Terry. Never met you.
I love it.
And he's like, I'm Yusuf. And I go, oh, tell me your story. Like sometimes I'd just say,
Yeah.
tell me your story. Or sometimes I'd say, what's the best place you've ever been? You know, I'd try to ask him questions that made them excited. And he goes, I'm a French pastry chef from Jordan.
So this big giant bald man is a French pastry chef.
From Jordan.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it. So what did you learn from him? Tell me more.
Oh my gosh. Just, well, number one, don't be scared. Like, he wasn't scary. He was only scary in my head.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't scary as a person.
Right.
And that was really one of the biggest things is you just can't judge people.
Yeah.
You know, we think we can. I had another guy. So I started Ubering.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
So-
I am now understanding how you met 3,000 people.
So that, yeah. So I meet all
Yes.
these people, and then they're like, and
That's a scary spot for you
I
to
had-
be in first and foremost. That would be my fear.
yeah, and I had
Yeah.
a Lexus ES350. It was red. My license
Yeah.
plate said "ta-da," so it was like all happy and
Yeah.
stuff. But this guy jumps in the back seat of my car as I'm like stopped at a stop sign.
Oh, like you're a taxi.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? You know, I don't have a taxi sign. I
Yeah,
don't have an
right?
Uber
You're
or
like,
a Lyft or
"Hello,
anything.
friend."
My car just says ta-da. I guess he just wanted to experience it. But he jumps in my car and, you know, I think his pants are down to his knees. And I'm totally judging him because he's got a hoodie on over his head.
Well, and he's just effectively
He's
got
just
into your
scared the
car
crap
at
out
a
of me.
stop sign.
I'm sorry if I say crap, but
You can.
he really did scare the crap out of me.
Yeah.
And the energy just went like it just sucked out of the room.
Right.
And he's on the phone
I'd
and
be
he's
afraid.
cussing at somebody and I'm like and he goes, "Go, go, go." And I'm like, "Who the heck are you?"
Right?
and then like someone named Precious? Like, really? Precious.
So what? He was an Uber rider.
Well, he was
Or
the
he-
guy of an Uber person
okay.
who at the airport.
Gotcha. So
I
he's
was
looking for
at the
someone
airport.
else.
No, he was looking for me apparently. But he's like cussing up a storm and he's like punching my car.
You're like,
And I'm
"Okay,
going, I don't like this situation.
I'm nervous.
So I just do what I always do. And I reached in my pocket for my pretend magic pixie dust.
Yes.
And I just went,
I mean,
like I really sprinkled like pretend magic pixie dust in my car.
And did that work?
Totally worked. It totally worked.
Are you armed? I mean, we're in
Oh,
Texas.
I did have someone ask me once if I was armed,
I
and
would.
I go, at least two. That was my answer, was at least two.
Okay, perfect. And you have pixie dust.
And I
so
have magic pixie dust. That's
you know,
pretend.
It works,
But
apparently.
totally worked.
I love it.
And he gets off the phone, and I go, "Is that someone you love?" And he said,
That's a bold question.
"My wife." And I said, "Wow, didn't really sound like you love her." And he's like, "Blah, blah, blah," you know, and our
Yeah.
luggage is delayed, and the Cowboys game is ready to start. And,
Do you
and,
play for them? No, I'm just kidding.
and then I just said, "Where are you coming back from?" And he starts telling me about this trip that he was on. 15 minutes, I drop him off at home. He gets out. He gives me a hug. He's like, "This was the best conversation I've ever had in my life."
I love it. And you just kind of cut right through that uncomfortable
And he
situation.
scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, I would be afraid.
Everyone needs magic pixie dust.
I mean,
you know, but
you let me know where you get that from your pretend store.
that's right.
Count me in.
You can just make it
Right? Perfect.
in your kitchen.
As long
Yeah,
as there's not
so-
glitter.
There is
Feels
glitter.
messy.
It's totally
Yeah.
glittery, but it's pretend. So
Pretend, so we're fine.
so it's glitter with no After Effects.
Love it.
Sorry.
No, I love it.
Kind of devolved here a bit, but
Welcome to my life and my brain. No. Okay, so you're on this quest. You're ready to meet people. You start Ubering just, to get out of the house and to get you in front of more people.
yep.
And I mean, tell me the strangest person you ever encountered.
Well, that one was pretty strange.
That one was pretty strange. I'm sure you have more.
That one was
yeah.
pretty strange.
And do you
Most of the
remember all
people were
these
just
names?
amazing. And I would keep a journal.
Yeah.
So they would tell me stories. I will tell you what surprised me. I'll tell you what surprised me was the people who were so willing to share their lives with a complete stranger.
Yes.
And I had a guy who's in the back seat. Sometimes they'd sit in the front, sometimes in the back. And it wasn't strange, except he just started crying.
Yeah, and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was almost like, gosh, can I charge you like money for therapy? Because I just like gave you tons.
Yeah.
And you gave, but I also got back.
For sure.
It was like every day I just got this incredible sense of wonderfulness. Like I just felt so great every day.
I love that because it's just you're building community and you're doing it so intentionally. And then, how has this progressed into being, I feel like this is just oozing out of you. How has this experience changed you and made you, different?
There's no such thing as a stranger.
Right?
I also feel like I got out of all of those preconceived ideas that I ever had. So I don't care if it's someone who's a multi-bazillionaire sitting across from me. They're just the same as the poor kid. Oh,
Tell me.
Can I tell you about the homeless girl?
Absolutely.
So I would hang out at Starbucks all the time. Well, and I kind of went broke doing Uber
Right?
because I didn't want to like Uber in like South Dallas.
Right.
I would just drive back to South
Yeah,
Lake.
just back and forth.
Yeah.
Maybe to the airport.
Yeah. So anyway, there was this girl that I kept seeing in South Lake. And for those who don't know, South Lake is kind of an upper crusty, not crusty.
A lot of girls look like me.
Yeah. Plastic people. Not really. I love South Lake. I love the people. I met so
Sure.
many amazing people. But this girl was just wandering around. And one day, you know how you just get something that says do something
Yes.
and you do it?
Yes.
I went to 7-Eleven and bought cashews. Like, that was weird.
Yeah.
But I just did it.
Okay.
And it's midnight, and I'm sitting outside Starbucks with my little thing of cashews sitting there. And she walks up, and she sits at another table. And I'm like, you can join me. She goes, okay. She comes over, and I said, would you like these cashews? I think I bought them for you. And she goes, yes, that would be so nice, thank you. And she was super sweet. And she asked me my name. I asked her name. She said, I don't really know what my name is right now.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I asked her if she was still hungry. And I said, well, the only place open's McDonald's. I'm sorry I'm making the story long.
Yeah, no.
But so I leave her there, and I go to McDonald's to get her food. And on the way there, I'm thinking, I've got to call her something. I can't just say,
Yes.
hey, you. So in my head, I said, I'm just going to call her Mary. I come back, and I go, I have to call you something. You want to make up a name? And she said, you can call me Mary.
Stop. It was
Totally
completely
true.
prompted.
Absolutely
Yeah.
true. Absolutely true. I ended up taking her home to my house that night.
Of course you
Let
did,
her
Terri.
shower.
Yeah. Of course.
I still had 4 kids. I still had 4 kids living there, and some of them had just happened to be going through their closet, so there were clothes for her. We got her
This
little
was kismet.
suitcase. And then I would just see her randomly sometimes. Sometimes she'd go into a Cheesecake Factory and call me. She had me take her to her house so she could just sit outside her house.
Oh.
It was
Yeah.
it was
that's-
truly amazing. I could open my phone and show you a picture of her right now because she just
Yeah.
friended me on Facebook again.
That's
So-
a real relationship that I feel like
Yeah.
you built just out of the openness of
Yeah.
your heart to listen to your inner voice telling you to buy cashews.
And I got to end up meeting her mom.
Wow.
Got them reconnected. It was cool.
That is so cool.
It was cool.
Oh, thank you for
So-
sharing that. That's
You're
so
welcome.
awesome. I feel like I
Yeah.
just have chills
It,
now.
it changed my life. I mean,
Yes.
that whole year changed my life every single day.
I love
It's
that.
it's really hard to explain. But
I think that is a great stopping point. So let's wrap up, and then we're going to be back in a second with more of Terri and her story. So thank you guys so much for hanging out today. If you already forgot, this is Come Home with Jennah. I'm Jennah Sears, your favorite North Texas realtor. And I have the pleasure of having Terri Camp Stevenson with me from Fidelity National Title. And we will see you for part 2.